Oh, yes.
I hope mine was Metal Gear Solid.
Fair enough. What's
Dan's
your topic, Dan?
My topic is kind of similarly based on what we were talking, sort of, not really.
Okay.
I wasn't entirely sure what to talk about until today at work, and I have to deal with...
Is it toilet talk again?
No. But I have to also deal with the public, and...
public bathrooms.
Dealing with the public in public bathrooms. What kind of a service do you offer?
I just do the hand towels.
I bet you do.
But no, I had to... I can't really explain what my job is without really saying where I work, I guess.
You work on computing things.
Not quite. But if we have to deal with the people, it's a very one-on-one...
Yeah.
Sounds even worse. Everything's in a cabinet, so you got to go open cabinets, and that's just me, and there's cabinets all over the building, and I got to go open them up.
Okay.
So I get asked to go do this and open it up, and no offense to this guy if he's watching it, but he looks like Trevor out of GTA.
Oh dear. Unfortunate.
Intimidating.
Yeah.
And he looks angry.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, why? And then he smelt bad. Like really bad.
Maybe he was Trevor from GTA.
My topic is about personal space.
Right.
And every time he asked me a question, he got closer and closer and closer.
Yeah.
And it's just like, to the point where I was literally moving away.
Yeah.
And then he would move closer to ask me a question. And not only does he look really intimidating, seriously angry, and smells bad.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Well, that's the thing to me. When if he's asking you questions and he's getting right up in your personal space,
Yeah.
to me that signals as if he is actually trying to be intimidating towards you.
Yeah. So I don't think he was. He's just that way out. But some people very much are a bit up.
If that was me in that position, I would have got even closer to him.
Yeah, but they would maybe have taken it the wrong way.
Yeah, and then you probably might have ended up kissing him.
See, my only other experience is maybe you, Rod, unfortunately. Sometimes you don't have a good judge of personal space.
Why?
Sometimes you like to get quite close when you talk.
I do?
Yeah.
How so?
When you just get really close and start talking to me. Which is, you don't do it so much anymore. I think...
I don't remember ever getting into your personal space. You need to give me an example here, Spaniel.
I think one of the ones that really stand out is you went to watch wrestling once. It was after the show. It was an arena show, so it was probably... It would have been the first... Yeah, it was a house show, but it was in an arena. It wasn't just like a small wrestling show.
Right.
And we were stood outside, and I think you were quite hyped up maybe from watching the show, and so you were like doing pretend punches in the air and things.
Oh yeah, I
and
remember
then you
this.
sort of pretend to punch me, and then you'd get really close in my face and start talking and pretend to punch me and things. And it's just like, I don't want that right now. please leave me alone. I think of recent years, you've stopped doing that. You do that a lot with Heather, though.
Yeah, she likes to be put into wrestling moves randomly.
Well, we went to the cinema to watch Jurassic World, and she was ordering ice cream, and all of a sudden Rod's got her in the Tasmanian chokehold, and she's like, "What are you doing, Rod? Get off." This is in public when she was talking to the staff at the cinema trying to order an ice cream, and all of a sudden she's being choked by a boyfriend.
That sounds so wrong.
But would the staff have known that he was her boyfriend and not just some random guy?
Yes, I think they were aware of that.
I should mention, I didn't actually do it properly. I was kind of more just kind of like hugging her from behind like this.
Yeah, you weren't literally choking her, but you were putting her in wrestling moves.
Yeah, but I was
trying to order
more
ice cream.
pretending to do a wrestling move, whilst actually more like kind of hugging her from behind.
You see, Rod, if you're going to be putting your girlfriend in wrestling moves, you should really save that for the bedroom.
And then you can choke
the leg lock.
If that's what you want to do.
I'm trying to think of a funny wrestling move. I can't think of any.
That wasn't funny at all.
Armbar.
I mean, I was thinking like choke slam.
Choke slam. Yeah, I
This
guess.
is what we get up to.
T-Rex.
So anyway, I think it's me. I would have just got even closer to the guy. Or like trying to freak him out even more so.
That probably would work.
I didn't quite know how to respond to
No.
that.
How would you freak him out by getting closer to him?
But like either licking my lips or like trying to kiss him or something.
Remember that time?
It'd work.
Remember that time we went to that?
Or like cough. Then he would be like,
If you're gonna cough when it's really close to you, don't cover your mouth.
oh yeah, don't cover your
Don't cover
mouth.
your mouth.
That's a good
I
idea.
hate
Don't
that
cover your
too, to
mouth.
be fair, wouldn't.
Or
What?
pretend to
Stop it.
sneeze or cough
But
or
remember that time?
burp or something.
Remember that time we went to that went to see Maiden at the O2 Arena, and there's that guy stood in front of me and he kept like leaning back.
Oh no.
What happened there?
Well, there's kind of a photograph of me where this
I think, is that when, was that the last one we went to?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't in the best of moods and I had
No,
quite a bad headache. So
you
I think
did.
Andy was trying to cheer me up.
Yeah.
And then this guy kept sort of
Like,
moving his head back, and every time he did it, Andy was going, just as a joke.
Yeah.
Until eventually this guy actually went back and he licked his head. And there's a picture of you really close to
yeah,
the back of this guy's head.
Did he notice or not?
I don't think so, no.
probably not. It was,
Unfortunately, Andy's found that every gig we've been to, he seems to get behind the weirdest people. He seems to gravitate to him.
they really do. I seem to be a magnet for weird people. Remember when we went to see them in Italy and there was just
That
that
couple.
Yeah,
Oh no.
just kissing. Didn't they keep looking at us?
They definitely did. Well, she did anyway.
She did. She was like, because she was like, he was facing the stage, she was
Yeah.
facing us, and like they were kissing.
They were groping.
Oh,
they
they
were
were-
going at it.
They were proper going for it, and like then she would just like look up like over her shoulder like us, and I was like, is she expecting us to kiss? And what?
I think it was more of like a look what I'm doing.
And then all I could think of was, you're not that hot.
Mm-hmm.
It's no offense to it to them, but like you couldn't picture a more ugly couple. And I mean they were an ugly couple.
They were.
They were
They were.
kind of like, you know,
Yeah.
you think of like weird growths and warts, and
Yeah.
They were that bad?
they were
Yeah. They were that bad.
and they were all
That's
licking
gross.
each other all over the place. Ugh,
She was almost like a black widow consuming her mate. Like she was like eating his
it was
face.
revolting.
It was.
Gross.
You see, it's kind of
And
like
they smelled like crap.
they did.
Like they smelled like they'd pooed themselves
And then
with
they,
excitement of licking each other's face warts.
That's so gross.
I've never-
It was horrible.
It really was. But again, it's kind of like
If she was looking at you, you should have started making funny faces at her or something.
You should probably have thought that was an invitation.
I don't know. I just it wasn't welcome at all. It's like I kind of do. Well, we joke about me having a problem with public affection.
Yes, only in your foot.
Only my foot, because there was a time when me, Dan, and Ben was walking through town, and my foot started hurting, and I complained. And at the time, there was a couple like hugging or something
Yeah.
like that, wasn't there? And Dan just joked that it was because they was displaying public affection, and we just kind of ran with it from there.
I've never heard that story before.
So the joke is that every time somebody like displays any kind of public affection, like I usually complain about my foot hurting.
Right, okay.
But I guess it's I mean, I've never really had any experience with people being up in like my personal space. I mean, I think like at work, there's a colleague of mine, James, and sometimes I go stand next to him just to like either ask him a work-related question, or like if I'm waiting for something to like happen on my machine, I'll just go over and have a quick chat, and I'll stand close to him. But not too close. But I've also, because he likes to gesticulate a lot.
Yeah.
You know, basically like wave his hands around. And there's been many times where I've just been stood there, and he's like, we've just been talking about something, and he's moving his hands, and then I just like have to say to him, "You just brushed your hand against my crotch." And he's like, "Well, you are like stood extremely close to me," and I'm just like, "I'm not really that close to you, but somehow your hand has ended up stroking my crotch." Now, I'm not going to say I didn't enjoy it, or whether I did enjoy it. I'm quite neutral on the matter. But it still doesn't take away from the fact that you just stroked my crotch. But it's like, the other day, and he was like moving his elbow, and I was just like, you did it again. But he's a very, I like him, he's a good laugh, and he's probably the only person in that office I can, like, talk to about politics or other stuff, and, you know, I mean, he's very vocal, and he's very opinionated like me, and we can have some quite good discussions. But then it's like when he first started work, I found him extremely strange. I thought he was gay. Not that there's a problem with that, I just don't know, I just thought he was a bit gay, because it's like every time he would just like walk up to me, or walk past me, and as he walked past me, he would just go, and then walk off.
That's a bit weird.
It was, and I was just like, the hell was that?
But I liked it.
I'm not going to say whether I did. I'm not going to say whether I did. I'm quite neutral on the matter. But I just grew to get used to it. Really, it's just like this is what he does.
Yeah.
It's like I can't hate a dog for licking its own balls, so I can't really. It's what a dog does. This is what James does. Don't lick his own balls. He's probably tried. I don't know. I've never been there. But I remember though there was a point where we was going out for somebody's leaving do, and I went out and I had a few drinks, and I was like, well, I've drank now, so I can't drive. And then James was like, oh, you can stop over at mine if you like. To begin with, I was like, yeah, all right then, that doesn't sound so bad. And then as the night wound on, I was like, this suddenly doesn't seem like a good idea. I don't know what would happen. You know, I don't want to wake up in the middle of the night to find, like, a pair of balls on my face. It could happen. You know what my past history is like with, wait. Scrap that one. Scrap that train of thought. Let's derail it. I don't know where it's going. That's the only experience I've had with. It's not because it wasn't like it's not like a bad or intimidating. It's not a good thing either. But it's neutral. It's like beige, neutral.
If you can't think of any examples of when somebody was too close to you, does that mean that you're the one who's doing it to them?
Maybe.
I don't think apart from that example Dan just gave, but then I was messing around on purpose, so I don't think it really counts.
Have I ever got into your personal space?
I don't think so. No, not really.
I'm pretty sure my example doesn't count because I was messing around on purpose. Then.
I mean, I usually kind
It
of
does count.
I usually kind of hope that girls
sure.
might want to get in my personal space, but they don't seem to.
We should have started a website called My Personal Space.
That'd have been clever.
Yes. Like Facebook.
Yeah, it's too late for that now.
I wonder if it's taken.
Probably is.
I don't know how to make that kind of website, but we could.
What, social media?
Yeah.
I don't know. There'd be no point. Facebook's already got it.
Yeah. But yeah, I can't really think of any other examples. It also has been different times, but I mean today it's just like, I just don't want people
No.
in that close.
I mean, it's not really personal space, but I dislike it, like, when you're trying to... It's like, obviously, the field I work in, I've had to take a lot of calls from customers.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I'm trying to offer them advice and help them. And it's like, as I'm trying to, like, explain something to them, they just don't shut up.
Mm.
And it's like, are you going to let me talk? Are you going to let me give the answer to your problem? Or are you just going to waffle on and pretend you know what you're talking about?
Mm.
That's bait. It's just like, if you want my help, then shut up.
As you mentioned earlier about...
Oh, wait, no. I do know somebody else who, and this does make me feel uncomfortable.
Is it Ben?
It's not Ben.
Are you sure?
He's never twerked in my face.
Actually, that is an example. So I'm not. I'm
gonna say that's the ultimate example of space invasion.
Ben did that to me a lot.
But he did it purposefully.
Yeah, he didn't.
He didn't do it. Like
it wasn't like he just came to talk to you and he was just like here.
No, he was.
Like, hello.
He did it deliberately to like try and get a reaction out of you.
Probably. Yeah.
But then again, sometimes I think that you two just existed to wind each other up.
I must have like a really bad memory because she used to remember a lot, and I don't really remember what happened last year, let alone 10 years ago.
You remember some stuff, but I mean, you're unemployed, so every day is kind of like the same.
Yeah, just kind of meld into
Yeah,
one.
no, but you
I was
two.
saying that being employed makes every day the same too.
I suppose so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you two remember exact details of what we were doing when we were 18 and like where we were and what we were wearing and everything.
I
I'm
just have a good memory of
I
stuff.
don't remember any of that.
I wouldn't fit into this guy's clothes.
I was wearing those.
You did used to wear shirts like this, didn't you?
I forgot some.
Have you?
Sorry, were you saying something before?
Yeah, there's this lass over at the other building, and she is very handsy, and not in a good way.
Mm.
I don't really appreciate it, to be honest with you, because it's kind of like, I know you, but I'm not your friend in a way. It's like I'm friendly to you because I kind of have to be. I don't hate her. I don't dislike her. She's a likable person.
I'd love to get video footage of you saying, "I know you, but I'm not your friend." So I can't.
But it's like, I used to have to like walk around in the building and like help people with technical issues, and she was always one of the ones who like had problems, and you would just like go over to do your job, and then all of a sudden she was just like putting a hand on you like that, and like stroking your arm like that, and it's like, what are you doing?
Is she hot?
How old is she?
I think she's like 24, 25.
All right, yeah.
Like I say, trying to flirt with you.
She wasn't flirting. She does it to a lot of people.
I usually find like a lot of not older women, but older women.
Yeah.
Usually do that quite often.
But nobody else does it in that office. It's
Yeah.
just like, and I'm just there. It's like, if she'll just like start like patting me on the head and stuff like that, and it's just like, not a dog.
That sort of stuff's a bit weird. But when like someone like does that sort of thing, that's not too weird. But when they're like patting you on the head and
Yeah, it's just like
stroking you and stuff, that's a bit weird.
that is.
It's maybe not weird. She might just be trying to look. She might just want a reaction to you.
Maybe, I don't know. She had a boyfriend at the time.
It doesn't mean anything.
No, I suppose not.
If she does it again, just like put your hand on top of her hand like that.
No,
Why?
it's not going to happen anyway because I don't go around to that other
You should
office
just go. Or if you can just hold in a fart.
But
And then leave instantly.
yeah, but it's just it's just very strange. It's like, because I kind of like my personal space.
Yeah.
I don't like it people coming in. It's like I have I have a specific radius of comfort.
Yes.
It's like if you enter my comfort zone,
Yes.
it's like, again, if I know you and I'm your friend, I don't mind it as much.
Yeah.
But if I know you and I'm not really your friend,
Yeah.
then just stay,
Yeah.
know, out here.
Yeah.
Stay there. If I want you in my comfort zone, I will come to you. I don't want you coming to me really close.
This girl's got the same podcast somewhere else, and she's like, this guy.
But it's, luckily I don't have to go to that office anymore, but it just made me feel really, really uncomfortable. It's like I didn't welcome this whatsoever, and I couldn't really say it. I didn't really know how to approach it. I was just like, how do you tell somebody to stop being friendly?
Yeah.
Because I know that's all it was. She was just being friendly. She wasn't flirting or anything like that. And it's just kind of like, I can see you being friendly, but stop.
See, that's a hard one to read without really knowing it, but usually, if someone's putting a hand on you, is usually a sign.
Yeah, but it wasn't. She did it to like a load of, unless she was just like giving that same sign to a load of different guys.
Yeah.
It's like, slut. Joking.
I know you. We're not friends. Slut. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Again, without knowing the situation, but generally, guys are usually fairly good at making it. Well, they're not always very good at making it obvious if you like someone or not. But you gotta. If you're gonna say something, guys will go say something.
Mm-hmm.
From a girl's perspective, it can easily be done through touch. Touch is a good way of just literally just doing that or something.
Mm.
They can. It feels nice, my shit. that they could. It's a way that you'd be like, it's an instant connection. I think it sounds like that's maybe something to pursue.
Maybe.
Unless it's that girl in Italy, then you run and wash a lot.
Yeah. Then again, speaking of like receiving signals and stuff from girls, is again going back to college. I think we know who we're talking. I'm not going to mention any names.
Okay.
But I think we know who we're talking about when I say like.
Is it a girl?
Yeah.
All right. Wasn't the first name we mentioned.
Don't even. Not with a 10-foot barge pole. But I suppose looking back, like all the signs were there that she was being extremely flirty with me, and I was just like, "What you doing?"
Stop it.
Like I distinctly remember like the first indication I should have had was when she gave me a homemade Christmas card.
A hand. What are you doing?
That would have been the first indication that she might have been into me. It's like, yeah.
Do you think she likes me?
Yeah, she gave me a homemade Christmas card, like full of pictures of her and
I
stuff.
did not know this.
Did you not know this one?
No.
Yeah, she did. Because Dan, he had a massive thing for her.
Yeah.
Because I remember there was one time she said, "Oh, I had a dream where I was like riding on the beach on a white horse," and he just goes, "My friend has horses." It's like, you do not seem desperate at all. But yeah, and around Christmas time, she gave me a homemade Christmas card full of pictures of her. Like, because you know, she was in a relationship with Leanne at the time, and a lot of the pictures she used was her and Leanne, but she'd like cut Leanne out of the pictures and just was like her. And that should have been the first indication that she might have liked me in some way. But I never knew if like she was being serious or not. I mean, people kept telling me she's into you, you know. I was like, no, she's not. It's like, oh no, she is. She would not have given you that card if she wasn't into you. It's like, it's just being friendly. But she does it to loads of people. No, it's just been you.
Like I say, she never gave me a Christmas card.
I mean, granted, the pictures were like very like benign. There was nothing like, you know.
You got on very well with her, I think.
Well, yeah, I got on well with her, but I just thought she was just being friends. I didn't think there was anything more to it.
I think you were in a position where you didn't have any confidence in yourself.
No, I didn't. I mean,
so I think that's overruled anything else.
Yeah, and again, more indications like when we was doing our filming project in year one towards the end, and like she was our presenter, and like she like said like she couldn't like say her lines until like I turned away to stop looking at her and stuff, and then we was in like doing editing, so I was just sat there, and then I just like felt her like foot rubbing up against mine. I just kind of like moved mine away and just like, what are you doing?
Then you realise it was Gibbo. Which, incidentally, is another good example of someone getting in your personal space.
Who? Gibbo?
Yeah, he used to do it a fair bit.
Did he?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
He's just a creepy guy.
Yeah.
It's alright. It's just it's a weird one.
He was a bit weird. Again, it's kind of like, you know, he felt like he was destined to be with her because he was listening to that Scissor Sisters song the same day she joined our class, and he's like, it's fate. I was like, she don't like you, you know. That's being blunt. Gotta be blunt sometimes.
I know who you are. But we're not friends. And she doesn't like you, you know.
I sound like a right asshole, don't I?
No.
Oh, that's alright then. But yeah,
I missed out on so much stuff not being in the same college class as you two.
yeah,
I'm fairly sure Ben would have been all over you.
like red sauce on chips.
Unless you like me and it's mayonnaise.
Yeah,
Yeah, you weirdo.
there's nothing wrong with mayo and chips.
Heather's like you. She puts mayo on chips. I think it's really weird.
Nothing wrong with it.
That's nice.
Yeah, but I mean, if you got like a bowl of chips and you had a selection of sauces, which one would you go for?
Mayonnaise.
I
Or
know you
barbecue.
would. But what about you, Pandy?
Depends what mood I'm in. Generally, it's red sauce, but a lot of the other, you know, whatever's on hand. It's
Would you put mayonnaise on chips?
Yeah.
Over like ketchup and barbecue sauce?
probably not ketchup now, but I would put it on.
To be fair, if chip spice was an option,
Chip
I would
spice
just have
all day.
chip spice.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
no sauce. It's
Yeah.
just chip
I mean,
spice.
you don't need sauce, yeah.
Me and Heather thought that when we eventually get our own place, we're going to get a salt shaker. Instead of putting salt in it, we're just going to put chip spice in it.
We've got a chip spice shaker at home.
Yeah.
It's just a chip spice shaker. Though.
But
Chip spice is
do you
nice.
also think this signal should have been obvious as well, though, going back to it, where I was just sat, like, doing some work on one of the PCs in the, like, computer room, and she just kind of walks up to me, like, just pulls, like, the top of her jeans down a little bit, and she just goes, I'm thinking of getting a tattoo of a little man with a lawnmower, like, right here, like, right next to her crotch. What do you think to that? And I was just like, yeah, why not?
She must have thought that you were like playing really hard to get.
That's what I'm thinking, because like there was a time where she's like, oh, who's your best friend? I was like, I don't have any best friends. And she's like, well, can I be your best friend? And I was like, I don't do best friends.
I don't do best friends.
She's like, well, why don't you do best friends? It's like, again, this was me being like somewhat, well, people might say like I was being dark and broody and emo, but, and I just kind of like, well, I was kind of betrayed.
You were betrayed by your best friend?
I was kind of betrayed by a best friend back in the day. We ended up going to different schools, and then he like started picking on me and stuff. So I've never had a best friend since. And she's like, "Well, can I be your friend at least?" And I was like, "Yeah, if you want." And then like ever since then, like she was just like trying to like ask me questions, like get to know. So maybe I was like being like she wanted to get to know me, and I was just like, no.
Surely if she was that into you though, she would have made it very obvious or would have said something at least.
She did say she liked my eyes. She said I had nice eyes.
Yeah, but I mean, like, say something to the extent of, do you want to go out sometime, sort of thing.
I don't...
She was in a relationship for most.
She was with Leanne, and then she got with some other guy. And,
Yeah.
But then again, it's kind of like, well, if you like me, why... But then again, maybe she just thought I wasn't interested in her. I don't know. So she thought, I'd best go look elsewhere. But then again, I don't think that relationship... If there was a relationship, it would not have worked.
No.
We should find her on Facebook and be like, hey, do you remember Andy? Were you into him?
I actually bumped into her at B&M the other week. I don't think she recognised me.
You should have said something.
Nah. She was with a boyfriend, a fiancé at the time.
Alright, so she's not...
No, she's not single now. She's... But again...
That isn't what I was going to
You're
say.
very different people.
Yeah. I kind of gravitate towards people who are more like me, and like the same sort of stuff I like. Because then at least it's easier to have a conversation with them.
But in college she was a lesbian, or bi.
Well, she says she was.
She was bi.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good place to start.
Bisexuals.
So we didn't really say an awful lot about ourselves or anything like that, but we are registered this. This has been Mr. Point, episode 2, not M-I-S-T. That's not how you spell 2, that's T-W-O. Doesn't really matter. And we're just going to get here every week and we're just going to talk about any kind of crap that we feel like talking about, because that's just what we do and what we think is fun, and that'll do it. You can find our content on facebook.com/registeredthis, youtube.com/registeredthis, twitter.com/registeredthis, and other channels which we'll probably start elaborating on some point in the future.
Yeah. We
have other things obviously planned, but currently we're just going to try and get into the flow of this. If you like the show, do let us know. If you watch the show, then I guess we'll see the view count go up. Also let us know so that it's not Rod. Give us a thumbs up, give us a comment, give us a share, give us a subscribe. Anything that you can do will also help us out. And yeah, just let us know if you like the show, if you want anything to be done differently or any suggestions.
And ask us questions and we will answer them in the next show. I will specifically answer them.
I'm glad you said specifically, not specifically.
Specifically.
Like specific rim.
I love that film.
Because obviously I'm like the fan favourite. And
very
usually
specific.
we're just like, meh.
Well, we kind of feel like you're our mascot.
Which reminds me to take a picture of that plate for last week. That's going to be the thumbnail.
Yes.
Okay.